Hey, good evening. Richard Jones coming to you, pastor, St. James United Methodist Church, Tucson, Arizona, with a short uh, devotional thought. This evening, I want to share a couple of verses from Psalm 46. Psalm 46 may be a well known scripture. It says this: God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth should change, though the mountains shake in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble with its tumult. Boy, we are in a time of what seems like seismic change and disruption in our world. But the psalmist says, even in the midst of these tumultuous times, he says, I will not fear. You go back to that first verse. The psalmist says God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Not just present, not just God's with us in this, but God is a very present help in trouble. What do you think the difference is there? Think about that for a minute. The difference between present and very present. I'm not really sure what to make of that, but all I know is I'm glad God is very present. And do you notice what it says? God is a very present help in trouble. Is this saying that God's presence, or at least our experience, our awareness of God's presence, is intensified or magnified when we're in trouble? Maybe that's when we need God, so maybe that's when we notice God when we're in trouble. It's kind of like in Psalm 34, where the writer says in verse 18, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. And then it also reminds me of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, when Paul's speaking, and Paul's talking about this mysterious thorn in the flesh. We don't know what it was, but it was some affliction that Paul had. And Paul said this about it. He says, 3 times I appealed to the Lord about this, that it would leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. Is that what the psalmist is talking about? The same kind of concept, that power is made perfect. God's power is made perfect in weakness, that God is a very present help in trouble. Well, hey, I think by anybody's estimation, we're in trouble these days, whether it's the pandemic, whether it's racial unrest, whether it's financial needs, whether it's being isolated and missing our friends and family. We're in trouble. And the psalmist says, God is our refuge and strength. God is a very present help in trouble. So just know that God is with you. God is present. God is very present. And God will be your refuge and will be your strength even during these troubling times. I'll talk to you next time.